Hey everyone, welcome to Ink Scribes, the comics podcast where we discuss the art and craft of comics. I'm Colin Singh, an aspiring comics artist, and I'm joined by my co-host Eric Zawadzki, the artist on the critically acclaimed Assorted Crisis Events, out now from Image Comics, and the first trade paperback which is available now. And Taylor Stauft, the creator of Luke Zenith's Wedding Day, a short story collected in the comics anthology Faster Than Light, Volume 2. Today, a very special episode where we're going to be discussing the career of Italian comics legend Sergio Toppi, specifically his first major serialized work from 1979, Sharaz-De.
That's right. Yeah, this is I don't know. This book holds a special place in my heart. It's my first Topi. You can see on
Mine
the back.
too, actually.
You can see back here. I got
for all of us.
I got the price in pounds because this is from Scotland of all places. I shout out to La Bella Avventura in Edinburgh. If anybody is ever there or you're there right now, I really suggest checking out the shop. It's a great Euro comic centric, run by this couple that are just obsessed with European comics, and the proprietress really sold me on this.
So who published this edition?
For me, it's Magnetic Press.
Published probably within the last 5 years, I'd imagine. Because my
2021 is mine.
My first editions were from 2012, 2013 or so. I got the Collector and Sharaz-De from Archaea, which I think...
Yeah, Archaea, that's the one that I have too.
Yeah, I think Archaea was bought by Boom around that time. And now Boom has been bought by... Sorry?
Is it Boom or Dark Horse? I know one of those two bought that.
It's
or Lion Forge. I don't know. One bought Lion Forge, one bought Archaea, something like that.
Lion Forge has a weird history too.
Yeah,
with its money and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the point is that this is the first Topi for all of us. I've been attempting to learn Italian, and it's going very poorly. But this sort of thing.
I'm sure it's going well. Languages is always I don't know. It's hard to gauge how well you're doing.
But this really lit a fire under my ass of I should learn this language and I should learn more about Italian comics. And God damn, look at this guy. These are the opening pages, It's not even story.
Yeah.
It is interesting to compare the different design between this Archaea edition and your Magnetic Press edition.
Yeah, you guys have the better cover for sure. This one is eye-catching, but not that interesting. Whereas I think yours, which is this one here,
I don't know. It's debatable.
Eye-catching,
and
very interesting. There's a lot more going on. Look at all the rendering in here that he's doing.
Yeah,
I'd be pretty satisfied either way, though.
Oh yeah, which is why I really wanted to do this episode, just because, as you said, Colin, it's like a textbook for being an artist, not just a comic artist.
I was saying that before we started recording is when we were just talking a little bit about Topi and Topi's work is. If you are an aspiring comics artist, if you are someone who wants to get into the industry or just want to kind of level up your art, whatever the case may be, if you are about comics, Sergio Toppi's work has to be in your collection. It's very essential. As soon as I looked at his stuff, and Eric's the one that introduced me to Topi, but as soon as I flipped through his copy, I got a copy. Right? This stuff supposed to be on your shelf. Yeah. You have to look at it. You have to study it. It's it may not be up your alley, but it's definitely something that you will gain something from it if you study it.
Topi's art has influenced so many artists in the American market. So you can kind of see it seep into the American market. He's a big influence of Jorge Zaffino and Bill Sienkiewicz and Sean Murphy and Walt
Simonson, Frank Miller,
which Walt Simonson did the intro to this, which was added, I guess, to the magnetic press edition. And for the collector, Sean Murphy did an intro, a really nice write-up for this one.
I do actually. I think that Simonson was also lightly involved with the Archaea collections. I think that he had a hand in kind of editing them a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, don't hold me to that.
I remember hearing
definitely he was instrumental in getting that stuff collected.
Yeah, I recall something similar, and it's which makes sense, right? Like I think this is just a quick aside, but I think a lot of the rendering techniques just on this alone, you can see like, oh yeah, he's pulling similar, not to the same amount, but similar rendering techniques that I wouldn't have thought of until I saw his name associated with it. But once I did, I was like, oh yeah, Walt Simonson. That makes a lot of sense here.
A lot of this stuff, actually looking at it and relating it to Simonson, I can see that it actually influences Manhunter quite a bit. I don't know when exactly that Simonson was aware of Topi, but I can definitely see it in the compositions of a lot of the pages of Manhunter as well.
Oh man!
Well, in the foreword, he says, "Back when I was a new professional in comics in the early 1970s."
Early 1970s, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when he discovered it. So like he wasn't reading the stuff because these weren't translated. So
good God, no.
In fact, I think he says that he owned Sharaz-De,
and he's never actually read it. That's the thrust.
It was only with this edition that he read it for the first time.
Yeah.
But he just poured over the visuals and just absorbed all the lessons into his own art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the way that he uses. Well, we'll get to it in a bit, but we'll bring it up now. Show on stream, because this is his earlier work, right?
This is on Heritage Auctions, so somebody sold this page, and this was it says from 1972. It's from Courier Boy number 37. It's a Marilyn Monroe piece, I guess. So it's interesting seeing his early work because this doesn't look too much like the Topi, the Topi we know from Sharaz-De, right?
Yeah, this is more mainstream, you could say. I mean, even for Italian standards.
Because the Italians, there's a rich, as we all know, there's a rich artistic history of Italy, and they don't shy away from that at all when it comes to any of their modern art forms. But I think, you're right. Like there is a difference though between something like this, which is a lot more structured, and the Sharaz-De stuff that we see here.
Yeah, just he's got all the foundation skills down. Like he just knows how to draw, basically. But right here, it's just he hasn't really discovered his, I guess, his unique view of the world, his unique
his style. Because I do want to actually draw attention to that fist that he has, and pay attention to the hands going forward in Sharaz-De. Like he's taken much less care or much less focus on realism, I think, in Sharaz-De, which makes it all the better for it.
Although we do have some crossover elements here, because there's a lot of this where
the negative space,
this chair, he takes out all the detail, and then this lamp as well. It is interesting where you get a surrounding texture and then just complete negative space.
Well, yeah, it gives me that die-cut diorama kind of vibe,
Ooh, yeah. That's what it feels like. Yeah, like there's that. I as I'm reading this over the past week and a half, I'm trying to think of what is this?
When he started getting his own creator-owned stuff, like serialized in Italian magazines and French magazines, I think he was given more carte blanche, so he's kind of playing by the rules with that earlier stuff. But as he's starting to write and draw his own stuff later on, he starts to get very innovative with his layouts. They're very more like just, I mean,
a collage.
Exactly, or a collage, or I was going to say montage, but yeah, collage, like kind of just almost like a movie poster. Every drawing, every page kind of reads kind of like a movie poster, or like a snippet trailer or something, where if you do read it all together, it comes together. But to look at it, it's just a paint, like just one perfect masterpiece painting, just to look
and
together.
That's what I wanted to comment for the collector. These are more traditional page designs. These are basically panels put together. Whereas in Sharaz-De, we don't have as much of that. Like, you do get the occasional panel arrangement, but for the most part,
it's almost like a gesture to it, right?
Mm.
Like you get panels, but in contrast to something like this,
it's just interesting designs.
He's really pushing the edges of like, where does a comic stop? Like, where does this stop?
Like, what's the difference between a storybook, an illustrated storybook, and a comic? And I was questioning that while reading Sharaz-De. Like, what makes this different from like an illustrated storybook? And you do get the occasional panels, and you do have the speech bubbles. And panel, and like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like we should get that long-winded definition from Understanding Comics out. I do quickly want to point out that with this the collector, something I absolutely loved about the collector that is not evident in Sharaz-De is his use of sound effects. Like, I just love his hand-drawn sound effects when like a gun is going off.
Yeah,
when you have like
I'm a sucker for that stuff. If you did it by hand,
and it just looks so good. But he does no sound effects in Sharaz-De. Like,
no, and I wonder if that's actually too
swish. Like,
the point of it, because it's one of the things that is interesting about Sharaz-De is that it's the 1001 Nights of Scheherazade telling the Sultan stories in order to keep her alive. Like this, the opening framing story. Oh my god! Just like, look at all this.
Like, every one of these you want to put on your wall, right?
Absolutely. And that's part of this. Like, now that I've been finished reading this, I'm like, god damn it, I got to get like the 13 other books in this series.
That'll set you back like $1,000 maybe.
Oh, I know. So make sure to spread the word about this podcast so that more people watch it, so that more ad revenue rolls in for us, because we like cheese, and that cheese becomes comics. So help us out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So I just want to like start off. So yeah, to give the audience context for this specific volume, it is a handful of stories of Sharaz-De telling the king a story per night to keep herself alive per night, and each story, like, I wanted to attach this to my previous comment, is like, when you read this, you really slow down, and I don't recommend reading it all in one sitting. I recommend reading one story, take a break, maybe tomorrow, the next day, just read the next one and the next one. You cannot, this is too much. This is like dark chocolate. This is like, the finest wine. You can't just chug.
I'm getting chills just hearing you talk about it.
You can't just chug this, right? You gotta relax. You gotta take your time with it, because you see all of his. Here's the other thing: I encourage you to go back and reread the stories, because you start to see the problem solving. Where, like, you're like, well, how does he make it all fit with all the blacks and the hatching and not make it confusing? Like, if you glance at these pages, you might get a little bit, put back. But when you really look at it, everything makes sense. Everything's accounted for. Like, he takes you for a ride, and you're not confused at all.
So
absolutely.
I don't know if the audience knows, but Taylor is a history buff, and I was hoping he would give me a little bit of history of the Arabian Nights, like what this is based off of.
It's unbelievably complicated. I did look into this, and it's the what I came away from looking into it is even experts don't really know what where it starts, but it appears to be a series of Persian and Middle Eastern, and as far over as the Indian subcontinent, like over thousands of years. Like we're talking BCE stories, and it's just kind of this collection. Pre-Islam, and it's and like to the point where like Hinduism is not the form of Hinduism that it is today. Like it's it's completely different. Stories from
the black magic culture prevails.
Yeah, and they've been adopted. They've been mutated depending on. Actually, I shouldn't use the term mutated. They've been transmuted for like
that's any better.
Led into gold. But they've been changed to suit like the cultural framing of them. Where they start and end, though, scholars have no idea. But the basic framing is Scheherazade has been, or Sharaz-De is the most recent of the, paramours of the king, who has decreed after his heartbreak that he's only going to be spending one night with one woman at a time, and every morning she'll be executed. That the new woman will be executed, and a new one will be brought in. And Shiraz-De prolongs her life by spinning these fantastical stories, these 1001 tales. Eventually, things like Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, Aladdin and the Magic Lamp, Sinbad and the Seven Seas are eventually rolled into this series of stories, although they are much later editions.
Yeah, like I did see one that seemed kind of like an Aladdin type story, but is very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, every chapter ends the same way, which is just like, okay, now she dies, but he liked the story so much that he's like, let's keep you around for another night, and then she can tell another story.
Yeah, the typical structure, if I'm recalling correctly, is usually that like, I was gonna cut. It's more like it's almost like serials, like old Republic serials, where this was a complete story, but it actually leads into the next. So that every morning she's like, and then the sun is up. If only I could finish. He's like, one more day. Yeah, I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this next part of this next iteration.
Okay, so there's 10 stories told in this book, but in the original Arabian Nights, there's like, what is there like?
The claim is 1001. I don't know.
I was like, I was going to say 1,000, but I didn't want to sound ridiculous. But yeah,
I think it's like 250 though. Like it is a huge amount. I think what he's done is he's gone through and picked the ones that resonate the most with it. I do want to actually touch on. I fucking love the design of Sharaz-De. I like absolutely gorgeous.
Clean.
Yes, clean. And it's consistent.
She's the anchor image. I think I would argue every page that she's on, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's she's the most contrast. Like he always surrounds her with visual noise and with darkness.
Yeah.
Even her hair has so much texture, and then her face is like the maximum amount of white, and so you're just drawn to it. And it's interesting, like we kind of see the same face over and over and over again with subtle variations. Like at the beginning of every chapter is her starting the story.
Yeah, but that's different from that.
Yeah. Man, she's always got like a knowing smile, like she knows what she's doing or something.
I was gonna make this might be a reach, but do you think Junji Ito might have been influenced by Topi from like I think of his Tomi work. You guys have know about Tomi or have at least read Tomi, she's like this kind of femme fatale that he had. Like he's produced these stories around her where she gets killed and then she comes back. But like the design for Sharaz-De kind of resembles or lends itself to Tomi, I think, because in Tomi she's also the anchor image to a lot of the pages in that as well.
When did he produce it?
90s, 2000s, in the aughts.
I mean, it has to be, right? Like, it just has to be. Yeah. I don't know, it's the feeling I get, and it's hard because a lot of the stuff that you find about Topi is in Italian, and my Italian is rudimentary at best. Like, I can tell you that the page that we looked at,
I can tell you how much I like something in Italian.
Well, and I can I could tell you. Oh, the Courier of the Evening Courier was the name of the magazine that it appeared in. But that doesn't tell me anything about like what is being said in any of these. But these images, I feel like this has to transcend. And
do you have any idea, Taylor? Well, either of you, like it was serialized in Italian magazines. I think it was Alter. And so how many pages did he get per story, or at least per, segment?
It's difficult to tell because I can't find anything in English about Alter, but I can buy them. Like they are available to purchase
on eBay.
Yeah, like that's what comes up when you search Alter Italian magazine. That comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the circulation was probably so high that
we should go in on one. $100.
I want to buy old Corto Maltese magazines, which is not like featuring Corto Maltese the character, but it's like an anthology magazine of Italian stories. Kind of like it's like the heavy metal of Italy.
Topi has Corto Maltese as well.
Yeah. The thing about Alter too is that I think that's what it's called. It might also just be called Alter. It's kind of opaque in terms of. So if anybody out there knows anything about fumetti, which is the Italian word for comics, drop some knowledge for us because we're just kind of drowning in the sea of texture and white space and the edges of storytelling.
Fumetti has a different definition, I guess, in the English-speaking world of comics.
Yeah, in the English-speaking world, it's photo comics that are unbelievably expensive to produce. But fumetti in Italian is actually referring to, it means little smoke, which is a reference to the word words.
Oh.
So the character, and this is chapter 2, and the character we have here, I think this is a great example of what works in all these stories is that every character that he presents has this interesting shape. Like if you go back a couple of pages, you see like his introduction.
Oh yeah,
he's got this wild hair. And that's something to pay attention to in every chapter is just such interesting character shapes.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you're dealing with like a mess of textures and just like if you look at this stuff up close, it can look messy, but he's able to keep things clean by doing simple stuff like having simple shapes for characters and carefully controlling the negative space and just like a lot of tricks in general to keep things clear, to find order in the chaos.
Yeah, it's putting it. There's a lot of visual pressure. Is the feeling I got from it. There's a lot of visual pressure so that when you reach something that is a lot, it's farther on in this story, but like this is a constant thing of like the sun is always just circles. There's no. Sometimes it's a series of concentric circles, but it's just circles, and that is just sun. But you also get like it's so much visual pressure, and then you can just kind of release it through huge, vast expanses of white for you to just focus on something. So Like this whole sequence, this whole page fucking stood out to me as.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite pages.
Yeah.
The bird. What page is 39? Yeah, I just wanted to focus on that page because like the falcon is not in the first panel, or it's like its legs are kind of in that first panel, so it's kind of popping out. It's like above everything.
Yeah,
and then over the course of four panels, the falcon plunges into the panels.
Yeah, because he's doing something interesting with this, which is, if you'll notice, throughout he is bordering each page. I originally had thought, oh, this must be like when we see like a double page spread in Nick Fury, or that quadruple page spread in Nick Fury. They can't actually print all the way to the edge. They have to have a border. Yeah, but as you go, you see like, oh no, this is a choice that he's doing. He's making the page itself contained for the most part, so that when he breaks it, like this with the unicorn horn or with the falcon, this means something. I think in terms of problem solving too, it's he didn't start off in comics. He started as a commercial artist.
That's right.
For ads and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's this impactful graphic nature to the work as well that I can't help but think is the result of him needing to grab people right away. But then, as you say, he's problem solving and applying that to storytelling as well, which, there are times where the story kind of breaks down. But I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, like, what a great fucking trade-off. Because then you get stuff like, he found it was the spittle of a foul dragon and knew that he would have died had he drank from it. Right? Like, he's tracing this stream that crosses the pages to get to us, to get to this gigantic beast. It's
yeah. Actually, can we quickly go to page 17 and page 13, actually? Because both those, it feels like there's one famous painting that we've talked about many times on this show.
There sure is.
I mean, are we just observing that? Do you know anything about his appreciation of,
Gustav Klimt?
The masters? Or
Gustav Klimt. I was looking for it. I couldn't find anything. But that said, I see a lot of references just design wise. Like even outside of this pose, just the design of the hair and the texturing of things, like, I don't know. This feels, well, Colin, you know Klimt as well.
Yeah. So I was actually,
you get that feeling?
I'm going to say, like, Topi was an Italian artist, and it's clear that he has a lot of classical influence, right? He has studied the masters. And even though Klimt was an Austrian artist, you don't think Austrian art was showcased in Italian museums and stuff like that? Like,
European
it's
art.
clear, right?
Well, and so I should mention, he was born in Milan. Milan is kind of the capital of the north of Italy. And in that northern region of Italy is where, like, the lines between Italians, Germans, and Austrians gets real blurry at times. Like, well, I don't know. There's a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Italians walking around in this city, sort of thing,
Well, I think
you're right.
That's a clear influence or homage or whatever you want to call it.
Would you say page 17 also has a big influence? Like, it feels like the kiss, that painting is like all over this.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so.
The painting, Klimt's painting itself, there's such angst, and just like, that is the ultimate romantic. Not only the ultimate romantic pose, but the ultimate romantic situation, the ultimate romantic just scenario all around. Like, that encompasses all of that. That it's inspired. It's still looked at hundreds of years later, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I still swoon, right?
And influencing comic artists to this day, influencing all artists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I also do see like similarities between other Klimt stuff as well, and it's mostly the texturing. But
yeah, the ornate quality.
Ornate. That is a good way of putting it.
Page 25 is the first, major indicator of his use of negative space. And now, speaking for myself, I'm really down on modern comics when they waste, because comics these days, they're not cheap, especially the flops, right? So when you're buying floppies, you got to get your bang for your buck, and I'm really about that. Not just the overall quality of the product, but like the print quality, but just the amount of pages you're using and how you're using those pages. In Toppi's case, like this page, for example, number 25, you've got 3 major word balloons, but they're composed within a dark, like it's obviously nighttime or midnight or whatever, and the way she's telling the story, just the cityscape along with the corner image of the owl, like just everything comes together, even though the page is like 60% black, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, do you feel like this is a ripoff? No, you feel like you're looking at something special. You're getting your money's worth, definitely, with this stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And because you get the I don't know, it's because what you do, because sure, it is just like black, but it gives everything else around it an atmosphere and an emotional quality that you are supposed to be drawn into, that I am drawn into. And you also get like just his bizarre design sense. Like,
yeah, it looks like an alien world, right?
It does, yeah. Like, is it a series of tubes? No, it's a palace. It's a castle on a mountain and a village, but it's not like anything I've seen before.
And you can say that about Toppi's art as well, right? It's not like anything you've ever seen before. And also on page 24, that's another image that reminds me of the kiss.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But to Colin's point, like me and Colin grew up on Image comics. We came of age with Image comics, like 90s stuff, where like what made a good comic was like how many lines were put on a face and how many lines are put on a page. And so
how you used the real estate, right?
Yeah, and so this isn't like the stuff that we were so into when we were children, and so I appreciate it so much more as an adult. Just I'm glad the ability to pull it off is not easy, and knowing when to go all in and when to not, when to go all black, and how and what percentage to put it. Yeah, it's it's high level art making, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. This is. And it's the act of mark making as well.
Well, also just to not make it confusing, to not make it. Yeah. There's another one right there. What page is that?
This 45. Is 45.
60% black, right? Do you feel ripped off reading that page? No,
you have a 200-page book, so.
Right? He's enveloped you. He's got you already.
Enveloped. That's a good word. Yeah, because you're supposed to feel that, right? It's the night. It's the end of the story.
Yeah,
and each of these stories ends in kind of this. I don't know, like you could hear the whistling of the wind through the desert and the cry of existential angst at the end of every one of these, right? Yeah. Like. And that's what he's leaving.
He draws you like a moth to a flame, man. As soon as you start, you can give this to a layman. You can give this to someone who does not read comics. I can give this to my wife, and she'll be flipping through. She'll be like, "Oh, this guy's really good." Like, just it's aesthetic. Excuse me, it's just aesthetically pleasing. It's like you're not repelled in any way by this. You're actually like, shit, this guy can draw. Oh shit! There's some nice design. Oh, she looks beautiful, and oh, that's a really nice character design, and so on and so forth. Like
yeah,
you guys got to pick this stuff up.
You really do, because you get
it's on Amazon. Oh. Go ahead, be cheap. Go ahead and buy it. Just
like,
don't
look at this. Just showing this as leprosy taking this child's face.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
Nice. Yeah.
Like he chooses he chooses to not draw the ugly. Like it's so ugly, he just blacks it all out.
Give the child
her dignity. You think that's what?
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's that, and it's because it's the feeling of I don't want to look upon him, right? Because you guys have seen Kingdom of Heaven, I assume.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
And the excellent uncredited performance by Edward Norton as King Baldwin IV. Mm. I'm getting that from this, just like the mask, the implacable face mask, constantly.
Well, I
think gazing down at people.
There's something charming to giving those characters their dignity by not exposing, like their full face or their body, like stuff like.
Yeah.
Going back to Kingdom of Heaven, I think that was really endearing for that. Especially when she even at the end when she took his mask off and you still didn't see the face unless it was a reflection.
I think you got a silhouette, but you didn't get the face.
Right.
Yeah,
or a reflection from water silhouette. Or something. Yeah.
Actually, can you go back a couple pages to
or
forward? Page 54.
Yeah. 54.
Yeah, because I did notice a pattern with his storytelling. He doesn't draw the action a lot. Like here he's I guess this guy's been tasked with destroying this rock, and like earlier in like a previous chapter somebody gets hung. Whenever somebody gets murdered or whatever, like the text describes the action and we just see the sort of before and the after, which I always thought was such an interesting decision.
Yeah, it's leaving your mind to fill in what was, right? Because you see, like, because he is doing down here little bits of the rock coming off. He's been tasked with busting up this rock.
Yeah.
And
and then if you go to page like 41, the climax of the story is that he kills his companion Falcon, and again the text describes the killing, but we just see we just get the description of it and then a visual of the dead Falcon. So it is an interesting choice that he continually makes.
Well, I think it's
you get it's just him and the blade, and it's kind of posed menacingly, but you're right, you only see the after.
I think it's quite charming though. It's kind of like a theater play where they'll show a murder in silhouette where they're just stabbing someone with a knife, and it's just two silhouettes.
It's more artful.
It's way more artful, and you're still satisfied. You're still, sometimes I'm very critical of modern comics because in a lot of cases, especially for what they cost, you feel ripped off. And I would like again, this is like a fine wine or like a really rich chocolate or something. When you buy this, you are getting your money's worth, right? Like these books are not cheap, but you're getting every penny well spent.
Yeah, and to speak more towards the not showing the action, I think it has the effect of like it can be more horrifying because you're tasked with filling in the blanks.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is sort of an effect that is done in movies as well. Just like leaving it up to your imagination can make it more horrifying.
Yeah. Old Boy does that to great effect. All action is just, or all violence is just off screen.
An Old Boy?
Old Boy, yeah.
What?
I'm not talking about the hallway fight. That's rad.
Right.
But that's not the kind of violence I'm talking about. I'm talking about like when he gets to the penthouse towards the end.
Right, yes.
All that violence is just off screen.
True, yeah.
And it's just like, I don't need to see him rip his own tongue out. Spoilers.
Speaking of which, the manga is getting reprinted in those giant leather-bound tombs. You heard of those?
Yeah.
I think I posted that in the group chat, no?
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'd love to check it out, yeah. And then we also get, like, because there is, to your point, Eric, you're right. You don't see, like, the action, but you do get this this reversal of the leprosy, the fade back into reality.
But I mean, again, we don't see the leprosy.
No,
it goes from darkness to, okay, now we can see his beauty has returned. You know, in some ways, it invests you in the story more if you're not spoon fed everything.
Yeah, because like the last time you saw this character, and it's treating you with some level of intelligence, right? The last time you saw this character, he was a little boy, and now he's a young man. But it's still letting you know, like, even if you pick this up in Italian and you couldn't read it, you'd still get, oh, the mask comes off, and the reversal of that previous progression. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's him now. That's him again.
To speak further of like requiring the reader to use their imagination, he can draw an ugly face, but
he sure can.
When it goes completely black, rather than him showing an ugly face, like, you use your imagination to figure out, just like, oh, this is so ugly that like it's beyond what a visual could tell you, right?
Yeah. I also did want to bring up Colin's favorite subject matter when it comes to these size relations. Now, these are a bit more abstracted than what we typically see when you bring them up, but every time I saw something like this, I couldn't help but think of what you speak about when you bring them up, right? Like, this is the guy that has cured the young prince. I have kept my promise, O king. Now that you have been cured, not by any obscure magic, I placed medicine distilled, blah, blah, blah. He explains how he's done it, but he is asked, like, give me everything I want, and I want to be on par with you. And we get this, like, here is the king or his executioner. You're not quite sure which, but you do know that he's royal in some, like, he's royal or carrying out the royals. But the over-looming presence of this scientist, doctor, sorcerer, as he looms over everything, it's a lot more symbolic. Yeah, symbolic size relations. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean,
of just who has the real power, right?
Power dynamics going very well there. It's like Citizen Kane kind of, a lot of competition.
Good call.
Citizen Kane, you can see that stuff.
Yeah. When he's smashing up the bedroom,
right?
Just like, and he seems enormous.
The worm's eye view.
Yeah, and then you get like, but he's small here. It's communicating that he still doesn't feel like he's getting what he's owed, as the king is just like sitting pretty with all of the women, and he just kind of like, no, I want what I want, and what I want is to be king, and he's still not getting it. But as time goes by, you get like.
Another thing I want, his use of, like, his expressions of magic and special effects too. If you go right there, actually, if you pause there, like what is that? Like, kind of like a magic billow of smoke, like magical smoke, or whatever you want to call it. Like, going back to like the Paul Gulacy episode too, when we talked about that, like a lot of the silhouettes and smoke and mirrors and stuff that he used in that, like, that's what's bringing me back to this. He still, there's a lot of detail there, but not right. Like, it's a lot of it's die cut diorama type of stuff.
Yeah. So this is another one of my favorite pages, because this person is talking to the king, and it says and skillfully planted, the poisoned seed of doubt grew in the king's mind, its thorns pricking his heart. And I love how, like, the poisonous words that, like, this old dignitary speaks, the word balloon is sort of like turning into like these viney smoke like trails that lead all the way to his heart.
Yeah. into
and it's
that
just like
magic.
a great visual representation of that, which I've never seen something like that before. It's very cool.
It's really cool, yeah. And I also want to make one quick comment about the lettering. So even though this is a translation, the lettering for most European comics, Italian and French comics, I've noticed that even when it's translated, like there's I gotta say it's like there's a classiness to the lettering that I like, that I really appreciate compared to like North American comics or like it's not the Comic Sans token, comic lettering. Like this is this is painstakingly lettered, even if it's a translation.
Chris Northrup, production assistance and lettering. Chris Northrup.
Yeah.
Translated by Edwards Guavin. Localization, layout, and editing by Mike Kennedy.
But yeah, I love European comic lettering overall.
Yeah,
even the word
yeah,
like they're oversized, the oversized word balloons. I
love the round word balloons. Actually, that's an aesthetic I love in when letterers do that.
Yeah,
perfectly round word balloons rather than the oblong ones. Oh, the oblong ones are like more efficient for for fitting dialogue in, which is why you see it used the most. But I always remembered
it's just like it's floating in the middle of
itself. And I always remember when I was a kid, there was all the X books, and the Wolverine book specifically had round word balloons.
I believe it's something
distinct.
I believe it's something we see a lot in. It's not consistent, but you can tell. Simonson is taking something from this.
Like the dialogue's being framed very well, right? There's a lot of room to breathe for the words.
Yeah, because you do have to focus on the words as well, right? Yeah. They're quite sparse,
but also how they fit so well into the composition of the overall page too. Like it's just classy. It's respectful. I don't know how else you want to verbalize it, but like it's better.
I do have a Topi on composition. The fundamental idea behind my approach is to give the entire composition of a page or a double page a strong visual impact that is allowed by using a strictly realistic technique. So thanks to photographic references, I can include within one single composition several plastic forms or planes, like a mind game. I was immediately fascinated by the notion of construction through combination. Since then, I get immense pleasure from how I design an illustration or a comics page. I am constantly guided in my research by the need to break certain limiting shackles specific to comics. Breaking the linearity of the sequence or the classic composition of the layout of planes and proportions is necessary if we want to advance the comics medium. Now, I'm not going to say I understand all of that, but I like the feel of it, especially towards the end there. Plastic forms, I don't know what he's talking about there. That could be a translation thing.
Well, he could have been using miniatures for his backgrounds too.
Could be, but plastic can also mean, especially in more Latin-based languages, it can often mean like fake? Malleable. No, it's like plastic surgery was originally comes from like you're like reconstructing, you're putting together, you're changing, and that's tends to be what that means in English, because it's a bastard language. It has come to mean the substance of plastic, but I suspect that for him it means he wants it to be malleable. He wants it to be changing. He doesn't want to be locked into a single thing.
It's interesting you say that he wants to push the medium forward. You say he started off as an illustrator. Do you know if comics was always the end goal for him, or did he just sort of like find it?
Well, he's also done work in animation too.
Yeah, he did animation, but he started as a medical student. So I feel like this is something that found him.
And I mean, is it safe to say that he's of the pantheon of like Italian comic artists? Like he's up there with what, like
he's considered. Oh, he's up there with Krepax and
Hugo Pratt.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's
but I guess Manara would be up there too now, right?
Manara is all time, yeah, for Italian artists.
Yeah, but he's kind of, if I understand correctly, he's a lot more recent in terms of kind of the golden age.
You could say that, yeah. Actually, thinking about it,
yeah, because Manara was inspired by Hugo Pratt, so I guess he's a generation behind.
To the audience, we're doing Indian Summer, written by Hugo Pratt and illustrated by Emilio Manara. It's coming. It's coming.
Is that YouTube safe?
Well, we're not gonna look at the whole thing, but we'll look at.
Yeah, I don't think we can do much Manara on YouTube.
But now let's transition to his color work, and I'm glad this comes partway through this book, because so that you get a feeling for all of this.
Yeah, it's quite the shock to the system when we get to the color.
Yeah, because he's using such like different line thickness, line weight, line application.
I mean, his identity to me is like ink master, right? Like he's just a pen and ink guy.
Same with me, yeah.
And then when you see the color, you're like, oh, like it opens up a whole new world, right? Like, he's so much more than just a pen and ink guy.
Yeah, he's using color in the way that he uses the lines in his black and white work. I don't know. It's
interesting. Yeah. Like the modern day version of like a color hold, which is like you take the black line work and like make it blue.
Yeah.
Or pink, but it looks like he's using like blue ink in certain areas and blue, or like, I don't know, like red ink.
Man, that bottom left panel there on the
right?
page.
Look at this. Look at this. This is so right now. Fellow YouTuber and comics artist Danny Warren Johnson has been showing his the process of making the sci-fi book that he's been doing, and he's been utilizing self-colored. It looks like acrylic splotches that he's been cutting out to give a kind of otherworldly feel, and I don't think he's doing this on purpose, but it's like he's trying to approximate all of this, like this feel of galaxies are rocks, and rocks are palaces, and palaces are deserts, and deserts are galaxies. You know, this kind of undulating form that he's using color in.
He did
always a new texture, right?
2 dozen pages for Sharaz-De, or out of 150 or so.
Yeah, there's 2 stories that are colored. Right. This 4th one and one of the last ones. I think it's the second to last one. And both of them are.
This palette is so like Frank Quietly Shimura when he did his color work on that. Like, this is what's reminding me of it. I love that contrast there of the shadows. It's just a darker skin color for the shadow. I'm getting worked up.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And this is actually where I think we can really see the Gustav Klimt's influence, like just these little dots of color throughout. They're like the mosaic beading that he puts in so much of his work. But he's also not afraid to use black on this as well, right? Like he's putting down completely black ink to pop this figure.
You know, like looking at this, he did do some Marvel work around 2005 for like a 1602 spin-off series. He did the covers for that. And looking at this, they're so underwhelming. The covers, I mean, not this work, but like the 1602 covers. It's still very competent work. It's attractive and everything. Like he was no slouch. He did put some effort into those. But it's like when the big two get a hold of an all-timer like this, it's usually later in their career, because it's reminding me of when they got Moebius to do those paintings for their Marvel work. Like they did a Spider-Man one, and Punisher one, and Iron Man one, and they were so underwhelming for me. I'm like, oh, like Moebius drew Spider-Man. I guess that's okay. I guess that's not
that's cool. I guess. Yeah,
it's the same thing. If you look at those covers, if you throw some 1602 covers up, compared to this, the palette is a lot more muted, and the palette and the compositions are still very well done. It's just that having seen this, it's like you're getting.
Well, I'm wondering about just color reproduction, because I see what you mean with these covers, but on this book, because that's something that I was surprised by looking at this book, is like, how did they get the colors to reproduce so well? Like this,
I think this is photographed straight from original work, because you can see if you. Really? I'll try to find a page so that this is the beauty of 4K. I'll try to find a page to point out where you can see the pencil marks that he is leaving.
Is that matte or glossy stock?
This is glossy.
Glossy could be a factor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's just so often the original art is so much more rich than the printed image. But I don't know this. And it's hard to say because I don't have the original here in front of me, obviously, but it just looks so rich and beautiful. I'd have a hard time imagining that it gets better than this,
Mm-hmm.
If I were to hold the original.
Yeah, because like he's using these almost jewel tone. It is jewel toned palette, right? Like it's not shying away. There's a translucentness to it. There's a brilliance to it. I did want to actually bring up this page too, what you guys were previously talking about, the use of kind of magical effects. Like they don't come up very often, but as this Jinn is being released, this is the Aladdin-esque story. But to use it, but then also cut across diagonally.
Right.
I don't know. I love the storytelling of this page, that if you're not really paying attention to it, it works like, yeah. But it really should be more like,
Yeah, another artist that actually reminds me, that die cut special effect look, P. Craig Russell, especially his work on Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And he did some work for, he did a one shot for, what was the publisher? Eric, I think I gave that to you. That floppy.
It was like for Pacific Comics, I think. Yeah,
like that, and also the Dream Hunters and Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Like you can see a lot of this die cut special effects. I'm going to coin that phrase, where it's like a billow of smoke or whatever the case may be, flames or whatever, and it's more like
it's very graphic,
quality
to it, right?
Yeah.
I should say for the viewers. For the viewers, like what they're seeing on YouTube here doesn't do justice to the physical book of how amazing these colors.
You got to buy it.
Yeah, we're shooting in 4K, and this is still not like.
Well, and even then, like the lighting in the room affects the page. So, but what I'm saying is, I would recommend people seek this book out and see these pages, because like what we're experiencing is not necessarily what people are seeing.
That's true. Yeah. Like this tone, it is blown out here. Like this is a much deeper green. Not that much, but
it's blown out on the video, but in person. In person, it's pretty stunning.
The reason I was saying to get it off Amazon earlier was because, like, I don't think it's in print, or at least it's not orderable through comic stores anymore. I think you can only get it.
If you're in Europe, check out La Bella Adventura.
Yeah. Any comic store that has their inventory online, if you can find it, get it through the comic store. Support your local comic store. But I think these books, they are and they're not in print. It depends on what printing you're trying to get. But Amazon, they're pretty reliable for Soji or Topi.
These two really stuck out in my mind. In terms of just like the design of everything, and the story of getting tricked back into the lamp, it or the urn, it's this great, like, aha, our hero is clever. And he's using the design to structure it and make it go and make it work, and then bam, you get this palace on the hill and
majesty of it, right?
And to speak to the expressions on the faces of all these characters too, like a lot of these talking head scenes, you know, you may not get a lot of expression, the facial expression, but the weight of the dialogue, if you're reading the dialogue hand in hand with taking in the art, you're still like really engrossed in it. You feel the weight on your heart when it's something tragic or if it's something epic or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, he used a lot of photo reference for this, but it still has a lot of life to it, you know?
Yeah, he's taking it as reference, he's not copying it. And
exactly.
He's really, the emotionality of it. And oh, I misspoke. This is where he's tricks him back in. But still, there's this, I don't know, this formlessness to the djinn. There's this, and when paired with, he's like so easily tricked, and then paired with the dialogue of miserable peasants, there are both countless numbers. Dare you doubt my power? He keeps referring to our hero as miserable one. Hear what I say, oh miserable pauper. Like he's just it's just such a derisive, boastful character that when he just fills the page and becomes the page, and then is tricked into returning to his own prison. It's such a great, I don't know, visual wrap up to this story.
Folk tales too, like especially Arabian Nights, like they're so old that a lot of the dialogue is very expressionistic and very like heavy, like how dare you speak to me this way, or the djinn was so insulted that he decided to do, you know, like all this kind of stuff. Like it's very exclamatory, it's very declarative, you know, like a lot of the dialogue is very like epic.
Even Scheherazade or Sharaz-De will often say, like, address the man that she's trying to not get killed by. Listen, O Lord.
Right. Yes. It's biblical.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Now on this page on the left, he's like going on a long journey, and so you know it's reflected on like the changing colors, and I like how he, over the course of this like journey, he uses so many different textures to show off the land.
Wow.
And there's this really interesting effect in the sky, which is like a dripping water.
It's like he's turned. I think he might be using gouache, which is an opaque watercolor, as far as I know. And it looks like he's turned, like he's taken the image and kind of turned it upside down and let water run down it.
Just such control, right? Yeah. Like the amount of control you would have to have.
Well, I think
with your art to pull that off.
We gotta take a moment and understand, like the reproduction of these colors for a story almost 50 years ago, and
good point.
Done yesterday, right? Like that palette is just it's too cool for, it's too good for us, you know.
Yeah,
like this book should be $100, not $40. You know.
Eric, to your point, though, I think that what he's you're right. This should be a lot more. It's so good.
Yeah.
But to your point about the control, I think that's part of what he has going on here. Is also he is willing to let control go. He's willing to let the artifact of the medium that he's using be shown. He's not trying to hide imperfections. Like this is a purposeful choice, but we do see throughout. Oh my God! Just look at this. Just look at audience. If you don't own this book, you should own it just for this. alone. Like, look at that.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YATT, you know?
But you can see the small imperfections of his use of pen and ink. Like, there's things that go outside of lines and stuff that isn't quite connecting or goes over. But
there's a specific page I had in mind to look at the imperfections and how, like, which is in the back, basically. If you go to page 212, skipping all the way to the back. I mean, if you look at this page with a microscope, basically, is that, or 212?
212.
Oh, it's different.
Oh, look at this!
It's different than mine. What? Oh, maybe one before that. No. Interesting. Okay, go back like 5 pages or so. There's like a guy standing with a spear. A spear?
A guy standing with a beer.
Yeah, right there. Oh, interesting. So mine's on the other side of the page.
Oh, that's
interesting. Most of the page counts have been accurate.
Yeah.
Between both versions, but I guess there's some sort of deviation eventually. But yeah, if we look at this page with a microscope, basically, if we zoom in on, so I'm talking about it's my left, but yours on the right. If we look at the first panel on the right, you can zoom in and see he's smeared the ink, which is clearly an accident. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Yep. He's laid down lines and it's just kind of like he's rubbed it with his finger accidentally.
The interesting thing there is it could be a mistake, but like it fits right in because if you look at all this stuff up close, it's just scribbles. And then if you look on the second panel, like on his shirt, it's just a dozen different styles of scribbles. But you also see a bit of smearing in the middle section, far right, and that looks like it's intentional. Like that looks like he's like controlled. Like it looks. Did you see the smearing I'm talking about in like the middle?
Up in here?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he's laid down dots, and then it looks like he's just kind of gone.
Now, I mean that could very well have been intentional.
It could have been. It could also have been just like, oh, I like the look of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like a happy accident. Yeah. But what I love about this is just like even when you look up close to it, you can even see the pencil marks. Like
you can. Yeah, that's my favorite part about this. Yeah,
like this whole book is like it's got a texture to it. Like there's a tactile feel to the art, and what I love is when you look at this art up close, it just is chaos. But when you back up and then see it as a whole piece, it looks very controlled. And I am sort of obsessed lately with like my favorite artists have that perfect blend of chaos and control, and like he epitomizes that.
He really does. Yeah, you can see if you zoom in here, you can see the circle of the sun actually goes through this figure. But he's not concerned with overlap, right? It's like that's not a big deal because what he's done here is he's created like here is a panel, and then here, and then this is a panel, and then this is a panel that leads to across the desert.
Yeah, and even the rock face is just like, I mean, if you just zoom in on that rock face, it's a mess.
Yep.
But he's somehow created a readable form when we zoom out.
Yeah.
It's just stunning. I like it's like a magic trick of some kind, right? Like he knows exactly where to put all the chaos and when to, back away, and when he's put enough chaotic lines down, and he knows when it's enough, and then he knows how much negative space to put in, and
yeah, and again, like when he drops it out,
never alienating the reader either.
Yeah. Because and there will be times where it gets kind of close, but I don't know. I'd rather, man, when I say I want all these books, because Magnetic Press now has like it is 13 or 14 volumes. It's an enormous amount.
Yeah.
I at a local comic shop, I saw all of them on a shelf, and I think
which one? Tell me now.
I think I sent you a picture actually. They yeah, they're just waiting to be bought, but there is a lot of them.
Yeah. But any North American printing of Toppi's work has been very respectfully and done in a very high quality too.
Oh yeah, like this is lovingly recreated. That's why I say I'm pretty sure it's got to be like photographed or scanned directly from the original art, because we do see.
Yeah, it's so well reproduced.
Yeah,
the pencil marks.
Because I have almost all of the Quarto Maltese, and not all of them are perfectly reproduced. Like if you zoom in on them, there's some pixelation. So it's surprising that the quality is so good on these.
I love this page.
Yeah.
The sun just becoming ever more large, and all the techniques that he's using, and then using like not just laying ink down, but then also laying white down to give a roundness, a volume to these forms. Because that's a lot of when you see him marking, putting marks on faces. That's a lot of what he's doing, right? When he leaves blank page spots, that's light reflecting off of darker tones than, say, this lily white skin, this fish belly white, and which is just looking like Casper. But the people that he is capturing, the place that he's capturing, and the feel of that light and the openness, the deserts, the sea. He's using all of these short little dashes to give you the feel of this is how skin reacts. This is how light bounces in this place. Even though it's not a representative depiction, but it is like it's a true depiction of what they would look like, right? What they should look like. Because that's the other thing too. Let's not forget, this is produced in the 70s.
Yep.
There were a lot of caricatures, and I'll say this: Italian comics can get real dicey in terms of racial depictions in the past, surprisingly recently. But one of the things I love about the work in Sharaz-De is the respect that he gives to giving people a realistic feel and capturing. But it's not a bunch of honkies that he's seeing in Italy copied, right? It's people of the Middle East, the Persian area, the non-Italy.
Look at how atmospheric that page is right there.
Yeah. This smear, and then just like rising out of the ocean. The island was made of magnetic rock, and the ship, drawn by all the iron on board, ran to meet it. Like, this is the feeling of this is something we've never encountered. This is about to run headlong into this. God.
Yeah, and then when you turn the page, just how he draws this like almost alien-looking world. Like, whoa, what is all that?
Yeah, it's the shipwreck becomes the merges with the rock of the island. It all becomes kind of one massive form.
Well, his goal for the overall landscape for these Sharaz-De tales were basically he wanted to, again, pre-Islamic, vast landscapes with a lot of sand, very Middle Eastern, like just overall like a desert look, and then just dropping fantastic elements in it, like a ship or whatever the case may be. But like he wanted to show like this vastness of just this world that could be its own planet in a sense.
Yeah, and he fucking nails
Yeah,
it,
he
right?
fucking did it.
Holy shit! Like, because I love the inverse use too. Because as you say, like this is a vast expanse for the characters on top of these panels, but it also serves as just like the sand of this island. Like that's not something I think I could gun to my head. Families' lives on the line. I don't know that I could come up with this. You know?
Well, you will have to if
Yeah,
you're put in
yeah,
that situation.
yeah. Well, so long, everybody. We had a great run.
More negative
this
space,
also,
though, is these next 4 pages, and a lot of negative space there again. White and black.
yeah, just like
Yeah.
yeah, so that you get the feeling of like the loneliness of being on this island, and then the size relationship again, right? This is this guy. If he's this small here, he's so small. You have to zoom in here and have these two work together. And it works together so well.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah. Okay, so we could just we could gush about this all goddamn night. So I don't want to linger on, like I don't want to go through every page and yeah, and just like drag everybody through. But I want to see like anything that sticks out for you guys.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got like page 123. Well, on my book, it might be different on yours, but there's the story of three brothers, and this is something we haven't brought up too much. Is just his ability to draw unique, distinct faces. So.
Oh, okay. This is I'll follow you like a dog.
Yeah. So those pages right there, actually.
Yeah.
Like he introduces three brothers, and all three of them very distinct, and every one of these stories very distinct faces, and it's a skill set that every artist needs, right? But not every artist has, is the ability to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I don't know, like this page is going to live in my mind forever.
Yeah.
Just this, like, to have her separated, and it goes from her to the story, and then it leads in and out, and he continues these faces across. You're right, they're so distinctive.
Yeah.
Like, who is he pulling these from? These feel like real guys.
And a couple of pages later, I just wanted to highlight these bags of gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a sort of gradient he does, and he's so good at this, where he's able to have like a very detailed bag of gold beside another detailed bag of gold, and slowly he strips away or detail and adds more and more negative space until he's just got the silhouettes.
Yeah.
And this is a recurring element of his work, this sort of ability to create a gradient. And it's just so graphic looking, and yeah, I don't know, it just makes for a very appealing page when it's done so effectively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's and then we're gonna get to,
man, every one of these stories, not every one of these stories, but it feels like half of these stories are, I guess, a character is told not to do something, or else something bad will happen to them, and then by the end of the story they do that and the bad thing happens.
Yeah, their morality plays,
right?
Yeah,
their pride is in play.
It did get a little repetitive. Like, as soon as somebody's, like, after about the fifth time it happened, as soon as a character said, well, make sure you don't do X or Y will happen, I was like, okay, there's 3 more pages to go. He's going to do that thing, which happens in this story specifically. When I predicted it. Like, she said to, be mindful of his, like, I don't know. He's a kind person, so just continue being kind, or else.
In every story, like, to speak to the actual 1001 Arabian Nights stories, it's of all, like, there was a couple hundred stories there, but they all speak to a facet of human emotion, like pride, jealousy, envy. Jealousy and envy you might think are the same thing, but they're not. and they play out different ways, and strife and fear, anger, all those things. Like, the stories may seem formulaic, but they're not. They're actually channeling an emotion within you that maybe you have, and someone else doesn't really resonate with it, but it resonates with someone else, right? Like, it's just one of those things.
And keep in mind too that most of these stories were collected through oral tradition, and a lot of the point of oral tradition, from kind of a social cohesion point of view, is this is how you need to behave for all of us to survive. Yeah. We all die if you give in to your greed, your envy, your jealousy, your need to dominate, your fear. Like, you need to be this guy, not who he becomes, right? And otherwise, tragedy befalls you, and it befalls everyone, right? She was willing. She's revealed to be a jinn, and she reveals that she was willing to go all the way with him to become mortal and live life. And
he bought her as a slave, right? Not knowing this, and so that was his kind deed. And I mean, she says, like, "I beg of you, merciful one, take me in payment, and you will never regret it." And he takes it. But his brothers aren't so into how close they are.
Right.
Yeah. Which we see how close. To your as you say, look at that face. Look at her.
She doesn't look like Sharaz-De, right?
No, she does not. And you can see, like, that's the silhouette of that face.
Yeah.
Right.
But like one of my other favorite pages is coming up with her standing in her like billowy scarf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's. There
you go.
Yeah, just stunning.
Look at that.
Yeah, I want that on my wall.
Yeah.
And you know the pages that he's really happy with because he signs them. He's signed this one.
And it's one that you can see, like, the hatching crosses over across lines that demarcate separate areas, but it still works, right? Like, he's not being precious about what happens with hatching. He just seems to be accepting. Yeah, sometimes the lines go a little too far, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine that happens.
And I just had like one or two more things I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
Maybe around page 158, which
use of negative space here, though. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Look at this. All this design, the headdresses, the helmets, the the religious headwear that everybody has. It's just like it's Kirby-esque in its size and ornateness at times. And then for him to just like drop that out so that you just get the designs. It's so good.
Which, to that point, that's something I just wanted to point at this figure that that has that effect, which is probably a couple pages after this, which is just like a standing figure in blackness, and it's just the lower half of his body is silhouetted perfectly in negative space. I wanted to actually look at those pages too, but a couple after this, yeah.
Okay, let's. Oh yes.
Yeah, right there, like that page. Like I don't have much to say, but it goes to your point about the perfect silhouette and use of negative space.
Yeah.
Where you have like a completely detailed upper body, and then he just knows what it needs. He knows to strip it of all detail. Yeah. It's very cool. But actually, if we go back to that wall, I love this 2-page sequence so much. He's against a wall. And I suppose we learned that this is a city of giants. But
I was wondering about this. Because again, size relationship. Is this just that he feels
Is it
small?
symbolic?
Yeah, is it symbolic or is it literal?
Well,
And it could
I hang up myself more on the use of negative space again. Like these pages are predominantly white or black, and
mm-hmm.
Well, and that speaks to, like, if we go back several pages before that wall, like, so much detail on that page.
Yeah, all this visual pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you see all this detail and then turn the page, it just sort of hit me. It just like smacks you in the face.
Like you're slowing down because of the detail, but now there's no detail, and you're kind of like, yeah, you're hitting the face with it.
Yeah.
It's.
And then I love this continuous image of these people breaking out, and then he gets blamed for for what they stole.
Yeah.
Well, and that there right here. It's one day, wearied by his long route, he stopped to rest by a temple, and a deep sleep overcame him. This is not immediately evident as being
not until the next page.
Yeah, it makes sense retroactively, but as soon as you see this, like, oh, okay, I see.
That is a good point, because I went through that same process of like, oh, it's a wall.
Yeah, and then just like whatever is going on here. It's just the deep jail. He's in a deep jail where sunlight was but a memory. And it's just so... everything is pressing down on him. Everything is just wrapped around him.
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
So I guess there was a second colored story, and...
Yes, I did want to just hit in this story... because this feels like this whole story, the stone, feels like Simonson took a lot for his Thor run.
Okay.
Like,
with the woman in the stone, that one.
So there's this. Was my initial thought is like Surtur forging Twilight
right
at the beginning, and then the woman in the stone, like this release. I don't know. This
such a cool
hit
thing.
me. Yeah, this hit me like a ton of bricks. Just because it almost feels like the lack of this is she's radiating this light. I guess. I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like he's using. Is he using like gray wash on her?
I think he is. It's either that or it's.
I don't see a lot of that.
It's either that or it's like graphite that he's smudging something. Yeah. But I have seen gray tones at various points. He doesn't seem to use it a lot. He seems to use it mostly when a design has been laid down and he needs to kind of create this gradient.
Yeah, and he gets the illusion of gray through these textures. And there's another silhouette right there, like another unique silhouette. That guy's like wild hair.
Yeah.
Like every one of these characters has like a unique face, a unique silhouette.
I don't know why this just is like, this is mythical as shit.
Yeah.
I was a little weirded out by that because
that's what's great about it, right? It's like, this is weird. I don't know that I like this, but I also don't hate it.
Yeah. It's awakening something in me.
Yeah. So his second color one, it seems to be a lot. He's taken like a different approach to it.
Yeah. It's a lot more like a billowy with the I guess like a lot of wet on wet, sort of like
That's what it is. Yeah, wet on wet for huge plumes of color.
Yeah, because you get these like cloud-like effects with the colors.
Yeah. But he's also still making sure to have control so that you do get like the volume of the human body, the volume of figures.
Oh, and then you get this a couple of pages later, you get this woman with like an elongated body and elongated arms, which
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of wild. Which, I mean, you can see the Bill Sienkiewicz influence here, or how this influenced Bill Sienkiewicz.
The exaggerated or stretched anatomy, especially for the cover for the printing that we own, Eric. It's like it's more like he's going by instinct, and because he knows how to draw, because he knows human anatomy and all those things. He's rule breaking, obviously, but it's like it's going more on emotion. It's going more on instinct. More,
and that's how that's the best description of like Bill Sienkiewicz work, is that like he's conveying the emotion with the form.
Yeah, make sure to check out our Bill Sienkiewicz episodes on Big Numbers and Voodoo Child in our back catalog. You will not be disappointed, but you'll see like the effect that this clearly had on him. Man.
What did you guys like? Everything's leading up to the ending, right? Is like like is she going to survive? Is he going to say, "Oh, I like you so much, you'll be my wife"? And that is not the ending. The ending is
that's
just
not what you get. No
continuation. Yeah, it's just sort of like.
Well, I thought
it's the same. The last page is the same as every final chapter last page, right?
Yeah.
Just like, well, I'll let you live for another day because I like that story.
I think it's not, maybe he didn't mean to revisit this, but he left it open for him to do so if the opportunity came, I guess. But
well, I mean, I like the idea of it being endless.
Yeah,
it just like goes on and on. There is no resolution, really.
And I think that's kind of part of it, right? Is that this is the approach that he has to this. I feel like he is taking this approach of like, where does storytelling end? This is about continuous storytelling. The experimentation never ends. The story never ends. The page never ends. There is just, it's the end of The Sopranos. You didn't see the end. You saw the where it stopped being shown to you,
Right.
But there is the implication of, maybe, or maybe she dies. I don't know.
Yeah, I do appreciate the life goes on endings for sure.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps. I do love the design of this page of because the whole story of this is this demon is tormenting a guy, and Iblis summoned from the depths of the sands the serpent Amwaki, whose bite causes not death but deep slumber, and just like the writhing snake form as it comes up, and the use of panels to separate time and space, and then we get the bite down here, just this little snake taking a bite out of not the figure of the man, but the panel border.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
very clever.
So these are the sorts of things we should be really endeavoring to fold into our own work, regardless of how much we're all probably going to.
Well, again, I just see it as required reading. I see it as you have to have this if you want to be in comics, if you want to, whether you're a writer or an artist, like this is the type of stuff that you need to study.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from this is just like letting go and just like surrendering to the chaos. But I don't know. The thing about it, as I've said before, is it is that perfect blend of chaos and control that he represents. It clearly it comes from his understanding of design and form.
The word I would use, combining chaos and control is calculated. Again, he was about he was going into his 40s. Yeah. He was pretty seasoned before he started producing Sharaz-De and The Collector, and he kind of learned a lot of things, and now he was, again, it's more calculated. I think the reason that this does not alienate your eye, I think the reason that this is actually not that it's easy to read, you still have to read it fairly slowly, but you can take it all in. It's not confusing in the least, is because it's calculated. You know, he knew what he was doing from the start. He knew he wanted to
And
do.
that's what it is. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because he's an artist's artist and an artist. Ad Angela. If my Italian lessons are correct, that means for Angela. Italian viewers, let me know if I was correct.
All right.
But yeah.
This stuff's still in print. Go get it, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Magnetic press. I mean, look at this. It was listed as £26.99. That's not
$40
from.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so if all the Topi books are around $40, then that should be pretty affordable for you to buy 13 of them, right?
Over the course of a lifetime, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be able to.
That's about $520.
Yeah, that's like 3 artist editions, and that's kind of what you're getting with this, right? At least this edition. This is almost an artist edition.
Yeah. Well, we are all artists, and so every episode we try to produce a piece of artwork related to what we're talking about. And this week I did a Sikh warrior. Taking inspiration from the Middle Eastern influences that Topi had in his work. Oh, let me back a little bit.
I like the bit of gray in his beard. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like that, man. That's cool.
Here with an oversized turban and knives and whatnot sticking out of his turban. So like, the Sikh warriors, they're very versatile and free-flowing in their fighting style too, so I kind of wanted to show that, and also obviously the stoicism of it.
The look of placid concentration on his face is well captured.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, so I was trying to think of like what is the story of this, and ultimately this is about Sharaz-De and the threat against her. So.
Oh wow.
Oh shit! You did a cover, man.
I can't quite. Let's see if I can.
You employed the negative space perfectly.
Thank you, because that is really what I was.
He's going. This guy did all right.
Yeah, nice use of shape with the weapon.
Very cool. This is what this was the thought, right? Is that okay? He's known for his negative space, the shape of his black areas, the hatching. Like I got to come up with something that puts it all together, and ultimately, it's the sunrise and the threat that accompanies her each day.
Yeah, and you gave her that knowing smile. That
it took a long time to figure out like how he's accomplishing that, but yeah, after burning through sketchbook pages, I finally figured it out. So it's the sort of thing where I went in not knowing what I was going to do. Like, should I even bother trying to do anything?
Well, if you guys want to
approaching this master,
DM him on Instagram.
R.I.P. though 20. I think he's.
Yeah, he died in like 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, August 21st, 2012.
Yeah.
Rest in power to Sergio Topi.
Born and deaded in Milan.
Yeah.
Hard life, it sounds like.
Great city. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, what do you got going on, Eric?
What do I got going on? Actually, here's a plug. Sword of Crisis Events number 6 is in stores now. You can get the Youngblood variant if you're so inclined. And there's also a black and white edition of this, which I have somewhere over there.
Say what?
Yeah, well, actually,
let's see. Because, audience, Colin and I have been getting behind the scenes looks at this work for it's been years at this point, right? But now for you all to see like the black and white stuff, like Jordy is a genius. She brings a new level to this book, but I can guarantee you, black and white, you're gonna see what our man Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish they put the logo in there, but they wanted it to be a virgin cover. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it fully works without the. Because I mean, this is hand drawn. I hand drew this sort of Crisis Events logo to make it look like the Youngblood one.
Hell yeah!
In fact, I have the original art actually, and there's also a Marcos Martin variant cover.
Nice.
Issue 6, but actually
bow down, man.
Because that's the kind of creator that wants to be associated with this book. If you have not picked it up yet,
look at that hand drawn assorted Crisis Events.
Hell yeah! So, he did that himself. He did it himself.
But again, those are available in the stores now, as of the airing of this episode. So just contact your local comics retailer to order those today. But thank you very much.
And the trade, first 5.
Yeah, exactly. The trade for the first 5 is also available to order. Again, contact your local comics retailer. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.